Ever feel like you need, like some kind of cheat sheet for the afterlife?
Tell me about it.
Well, good news. Today's deep dive, we're tackling Dante's Purgatory.
Hey!
But get this, our source is, wait for it, a YouTube commentator.
Really? A YouTube
Yeah,
commentator? That's,
I know, right?
interesting. It's amazing how these, classic works find new life in the digital age.
Right. Dante meets the internet age. It's kind of perfect when you think about it.
Hmm.
But, okay, before we climb this mountain of redemption, where does Purgatory even fit into Dante's whole, afterlife scheme?
All right, so picture this. You've braved the depths of hell, like really gone through it,
Intense.
crawled out on Satan's back, which talk about a workout,
Yeah, no kidding.
and boom,
Yeah.
you're at the base of this massive mountain.
Okay.
That's purgatory, the in-between zone. It's a chance for souls to, like, scrub away their sins before hitting the big leagues, paradise.
Oh, okay, so less fire and brimstone, more like, what, a cosmic car wash for the soul?
In a way, yeah, but it's not exactly a quick rinse. Our commentator, he points out this thing called anti-purgatory.
Anti-purgatory.
Yeah, essentially purgatory's waiting room.
Oh, no.
This is where you find the souls who, like, drag their feet on the whole repentance thing, or, those who were excommunicated back in the day.
So you're saying procrastinating on good deeds,
Yeah.
that has consequences even in the afterlife. Makes you think twice, huh?
Absolutely. And the time you spend in anti-purgatory totally depends on how heavy your actions were.
Oh, wow.
It's like cosmic justice meticulously calculated.
So no cutting corners then?
I see. The source mentions 7 terraces. Is that where the real, soul-cleansing action begins?
That's where Dante's genius really shines through. Each terrace tackles a specific sin,
Okay.
and the punishments, let's just say they're as creative as they are thought-provoking.
Ooh, intriguing.
Dante, he doesn't just want to punish you, he wants you to understand,
All right, hit me with an example. What kind of punishment awaits those guilty of, say, pride?
Okay, picture this. You're weighed down by this massive stone,
Right.
heavy.
It's a constant reminder of that inflated ego.
Oof, I feel that.
But here's the twist. Along the path, you're surrounded by all these sculptures, and they're all depicting the Virgin Mary, a symbol of humility.
Oof, talk about a reality check. It's like he's saying, remember her. This is what true greatness is all about.
Exactly. He uses these visual contrasts, to really force introspection.
Wow.
He doesn't just tell you, he shows you the path to redemption. And it's not just about, like, enduring the punishment. It's about actively choosing to change.
So unlike hell, where it's eternal suffering, purgatory's more about, what, purging yourself of those less than ideal qualities, right?
Precisely. Take the second terrace, envy, for example.
Okay.
Punishment, blindness.
Blindness. Seems a bit much for a little envy, don't you think?
It's harsher than it sounds. See, Dante, he forces the envious, those blinded by their own desires, right? To
Right.
navigate the world through sound and touch.
Oh, wow.
They have to rely on others to actually experience the world without those constant comparisons.
Wow. Talk about a wake-up call. It's like he's saying, you were so busy looking at what others had, you forgot to, appreciate your own life.
And it highlights a crucial part of purgatory. It's not just about suffering, it's about transformation. By taking away their sight, he forces them to reevaluate, to appreciate the world in a new light.
It's like he's saying time to rewire this whole system. That's fascinating. So it's not enough to just, like, feel bad about your sins. You got to actively work towards change.
Absolutely. This whole idea of active penance, that's central to Dante's Purgatory.
Okay.
It's about taking responsibility, confronting your flaws head on,
Yeah.
choosing to be better.
No passive regret allowed, huh?
Not in Purgatory, no way. Our YouTube commentator, he might be casual, but he cleverly points out this key difference between hell and purgatory.
Which is?
It's not enough to just endure your punishment. You got to actively participate in your own redemption.
It's like, here are the tools, now get to work. So are all the punishments this, symbolic and intricate? Because honestly, I'm kind of hooked.
Oh, you haven't even scratched the surface. The terrace of gluttony, now that offers an image. It's both ironic and incredibly relevant even today. It's like this, on the terrace of gluttony, surrounded by these lush fruit trees.
Oh, okay.
Just overflowing with the most tempting treats.
Sounds nice.
Right, but you're consumed by this just insatiable hunger.
Oh, no.
You can't satisfy your cravings no matter how much you want to.
Ouch. That's rough. It's like the universe is saying, remember all that food you took for granted. Yeah, not so funny now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a powerful image, right?
Yeah.
Even today.
Yeah, right.
In a world, I mean, we're grappling with excess and scarcity all at the same time.
For sure. It's
Yeah.
like that old saying, too much of a good thing. But you mentioned the modern world. These punishments are creative and all, but aren't they a bit, well, medieval?
Right.
How do these sins and punishments, how do they translate to our lives, like now?
Well, that's the thing about Dante. I mean,
Oh, what?
despite being written centuries ago, his work, it still holds up.
Right.
It's incredibly relevant. His exploration of human nature. Think about envy in our social media age, right?
Right.
We're just bombarded with these images of these seemingly perfect lives.
Totally.
It's like a breeding ground for comparison.
100%. It's like we're all voluntarily subjecting ourselves to this digital version of Dante's Second Terrace,
Right.
scrolling through our feeds, and then feeling inadequate. It's like we haven't learned a thing.
It's a fascinating parallel, right? Dante's work, it's like this reminder.
What?
The tools of temptation might change,
Mm-hmm.
but we humans, we're not so different.
We're still the same.
Those weaknesses, those underlying weaknesses, they're still there.
Pride, envy, gluttony. We might not be navigating purgatory with a giant stone on our back or anything, but
Right.
those burdens, they're real.
They're still there.
They're still weighing us down. So how do we break free then? What's the, takeaway here? What is it? Is it just about enduring the punishment, or is there something more?
Well, that's where this whole concept of active penance comes in.
Okay.
It becomes really powerful. Dante, he isn't interested in just punishing these souls.
Right.
He wants them to participate in their own redemption.
Okay.
It's about recognizing your flaws,
Yeah.
taking responsibility, and making a choice to change.
So it's like he's saying, all right, you messed up.
Uh,
But it's not the end of the story. You have the power to
Yeah.
change things, to
Yeah.
write a new chapter.
Exactly. And that message,
It's timeless.
it transcends time and place.
Totally. It's about recognizing we have agency. Even when we make mistakes, we can learn and grow and be better versions of ourselves.
And you know what else?
What?
This journey,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a solo mission.
Oh, that's right. The source mentioned something about community, right? Like it's not just you and your, metaphorical stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Unlike hell, where it's just isolation and suffering purgatory, it emphasizes connection.
Okay.
These souls, they're interacting, they offer support, they share the burden as they climb together.
It's like a cosmic support group,
Mm-hmm.
sharing your story, encouraging each other, finding strength in the shared experience. That's a powerful image of redemption.
It really is. And it just speaks to the importance of empathy and compassion on the path to, being better.
Yeah.
Recognizing we're all in this together, right?
We all.
We all have our own battles.
It's funny. Our YouTube commentator,
Yeah,
he had this really casual way about him,
it did.
but he brought out some really profound themes. The power of symbolism, the importance of community, the idea that redemption is active, that it's a process.
He really did.
And it just makes you think,
Yeah.
these texts,
Yeah.
they resonate with us for a reason, don't they?
They really do, because they tap into something essential about the human experience.
They give us this framework to understand the world around us,
Yeah.
but also our own inner landscapes.
Yeah.
But okay, I have to come back to this symbolism idea.
Okay.
Our commentator mentioned it, but I'm curious to go deeper.
Okay, sure.
What other, hidden meanings can we find in Dante's Purgatory?
Well, let's take the mountain itself.
Okay.
It's not just a random setting.
Right.
It's a symbol. It represents the climb towards spiritual purification.
Oh, okay. I see it. Each terrace, each challenge,
Mm-hmm.
it's a step closer to the top, to a higher state of being.
Whoa.
But it's not easy, is it?
No, not at all. Dante, he makes it clear, redemption is a process.
Right.
It takes effort. It takes introspection. And it takes a willingness to confront our own, shortcomings and
Yeah.
the climb itself with all its twists and turns.
Yeah.
That symbolizes the challenges and the setbacks we all face. It's not even about reaching the top. It's about who you become along the way.
It's like, what's that saying? The journey, not the destination. You're not just trying to reach the top. You're trying to, transform along the way.
Right. And that's a message that speaks to all of us, I think.
It really does, even if we aren't, literally climbing a mountain of redemption. So as we wrap up our deep dive here, into Dante's Purgatory with our very 21st century guide.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway for our listeners? What can we, even now, learn from Dante's vision?
It's so easy, to just write off these classic works.
Right.
Like they're outdated, irrelevant.
Yeah.
But what we've seen today, thanks to our YouTube commentator, is that Dante's Purgatory.
Yeah.
It still has something to say, something true about being human.
We all mess up. We all have those flaws, but it doesn't have to be the end.
Yeah, exactly. There's always room to grow, to be better. And it's not just about us either.
Right. Dante makes a big deal about community.
Huge. We need each other, especially when things get tough. We don't have to climb our own mountains alone.
It's kind of hopeful when you think about it. Like, no matter what, we can change, find redemption.
And support each other while we're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's maybe the best part of Dante's Purgatory.
Yeah.
It shows us how strong we can be, how much we can grow, how much hope there is.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Like a reminder, even when things are rough, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Or at the top of the mountain, I guess.
There you go.
So, next time you feel lost or stuck, think about Dante and his Purgatory. It's the journey that matters. The twists, the turns, that's how we get to a better place. Until next time, keep exploring, keep thinking, and keep the spirit of the deep dive alive.